Another side, education. I've seen not one time, they say Google's innovation, Facebook innovation. It is not Google's innovation, it is not Facebook innovation, it is my innovation, implemented by Google or Facebook. It is not Mark Zuckerberg's way of social network. It is not Google's way of, doing things, and it's not internet. They give internet to mine, implemented basically illegally, and then later they print Google's innovation. It's not Google's innovation. For my part, they are not innovative people. It's eyewash. It's eyewash and fooling. So those expensive universities, to me, even Duke is expensive university. Duke or Harvard, Yale, all this expensive university, they need to teach wrong. They need to teach basically made up some kind of nonsense, and they ask for a lot of money for this. Shit. They want to ask a lot of money for teaching nonsense, completely nonsense. I can tell you this way: the AOL 1991 did not have that kind of search engine with pages. Whatever you see AOL, they sold to Warner, I guess. They did not have pages, and whatever that external system with education, bank and everything, that's not AOL's innovation. And later it's not Google's innovation. They started to use mine, play around mine, and they call it innovation. It's not innovation. For my part, it's not innovation. It's called intellectual property violation, illegal copy and use, and later eyewash and expensive universities are teaching wrong. They ask for so much money for teaching basically wrong. Another side, beside search engine, whatever, how it comes, and all that linking and packages, any of my packages like Amazon or eBay or video or anything, it's not their innovation. They cannot say it's their innovation. They have to start from scratch. They need to be substantially different to me, but they are not. They are in illegal use and illegal copy. Even if my ex-wife made up paper okay to use, but that's illegal papers. So they use, but it's illegal papers. So it's illegal copying in use. So all those universities are teaching, taking money. Well, I'm sure teachers probably don't know, but what they teach is wrong. You ask Breen or Page and all, or anyone. Okay, search engine, drive, mail, storage and all that. Did you start from scratch? They'll say no. How can you start from scratch if I came to it? I started from scratch. You can check on AOL. AOL 91 didn't have that. Barnes & Noble, AutoZone, any internal networks, warehouse didn't have that. They had no system for the public. That system for the public, which is substantially different, I have rights for this. Anything like this have rights. Google cannot have rights to mine. They need to be substantially different to claim for rights. They cannot even copyright. And then somebody made things around, and every university, if they teach about internet or whatever, they can say Google is innovator or Facebook. That's not Facebook. intellectual property of that kind of social network. To come to social network, you need to have a system and network, which is my system network. Then I have certain ways how people talk, profile, everything. It came all together with my system from 92. It's not his intellectual property, not his network, not Google's network. Even if Facebook is using Google's network to reach people, it's not Facebook intellectual property, not Google. They're in illegal use. And whatever communist German is running around trying to save him, it's not his business. Illegally, they cannot use. You can check on those papers. They have fake papers. So they use fake papers and they implement it. You know, that's what you should teach, basically. But you don't teach. You basically fooling the people and taking money. You're fooling the students and taking money. That's how it is. Before teaching, you invite Google or invite Facebook and say, how did you start? Because before Facebook, it was actually MySpace. They use My too. There is no big difference. All it is, one side for profiles, another side, middle, for people talk with icon. You can post in one after one. You can add or remove. Another side for groups. There is no way you can have rights for mine. And there is no way it's the innovation. To be innovative, you need to be substantially different. You need to change people's life. They use mine for IPO or for venture capitalist people. They should tell them about me. If they tell them they came to they were fooling. They attain capital by fooling or by fake papers, one of them. So that's what you should teach. I'm serious, I'm not joking. That's not Mark Zuckerberg's way of social network. No, not his messengers, nothing. It's not his messenger. His messenger can only be on some other network. He needs to come to his own network configuration, everything. Don't use mine and say it's yours. No. That's what I'm saying. I want to sue all of them. I'm okay to sue any company because they have corruption. Right now they have corruption. They approved mine to copyright. You need to be a thinker for my part. You cannot use it. You need to be substantially different to offer it to international market. The more difference, the more you approve for the international market. They don't have difference to be approved for international market. For normal conditions, they are lucky to be approved for one city, one small city. I know the real law is the more difference, the bigger market you should expect. That's how it should be. American law system is corrupt. From what I see, it's corrupt. They put copyright signs. Who was doing copyright signs for Facebook? Probably German communists. What they have to do? Do you have talent? Yes or no? No. Why do you copyright? Oh, we have lady with fake paper. That's all it is. Lady with fake paper. That's what you need to tell pretty much to all the students in every university. They have fake paper that they use to copyright. Because before you program, you need to come to something to program. Count one thing, you need to be substantially different if you want to claim it's yours. Otherwise, don't try to copyright. You don't copyright mine, no way. For a big market, you cannot copyright. That's called gray market, legal use gray market. Basically, Facebook, Google, they're a gray market company. They're fake, basically fake Nikes, fake Jordans. That's all it is. To be you need to be so different. You know, he can attack. Why you have all this. Somebody told him. He's putting some kind of repeating guy with fake papers as ultimate authority, right? That's nonsense. They have nothing to do with it. And like I said on top, that's abuse of power. They are not you, don't talk. It's not belonging to your party. You never came to this. You don't have talent. Don't assume you can copy. No. And he's trying to say it's internet. It's not internet. I never worked there. To transform internet, I had to be working on internet. How can I transform? I never did work in internet. Why do I need to even transform? If it belongs to Russian army, fine. It's your internet. I'm not internet. I have nothing to do with Russian army internet. You can still have it. That's only a wire. Internet is interconnected networks. It means the wire. You cannot say this user or that user or that user around me belong to you. It's their property, their leasing bill or mortgage bill. You cannot say it belongs to you. You only can say for the wire, because you are connecting users. That's how internet should be. In Russian army, they had different users, different places. You cannot count user as internet. You cannot count. This is, it says grounded coffee, and this one it says some kind of Volkers. I'm not sure. That one say Wells Fargo, and this one say gallery. You cannot count them as internet. That's user, and he pay bill for his property. You cannot even count that part of where he's sitting belonging to internet. You can only count actually your wire. You are putting wire, but in my case I'm not putting wire like they did. It's only wire. I have a system with my intellectual property, which is software decisions, which are substantially different from AOL 91, from Barnes and Noble, from anyone. Nobody had it. And that linking is, I use linking for my system. I developed certain look and everything. I use linking for that, including browser. It's not internet people who came to it. I came to it. And my house in Minneapolis did not belong to internet organization of people. In fact, it was belonging to Lutheran Church. And later it was Japanese. Right now is Japanese from what I know. Japanese Zen Center. It does not belong to any army. It does not belong to any internet organization or nothing. And I came to that on that land in that house. So they cannot even, no matter how they want, they cannot even put together. First of all, it's substantially different. Second thing, it was not on that property belonging to internet. Or it's not belonging to web too. Web never was in that place. See, web is only packets or way of transmit the signal. Now, if I change packets to different things, my system still can work. It's just delivery changed. It can be different. There is not only packets can be used. Suppose somebody come to better way, faster, more secure and everything, be it packet or some other way of transmitting. I'm talking about network, because when you talk about network, it's not like computer, like thick cable to the screen. So if somebody come to that one, if somebody starts to change, web has nothing to do with wire configuration. Like I said, it's only delivery, way of delivery. Now, if teachers are talking about web and they talk about web, never came to main things. They would need to teach wrong. Internet never came to that. They would need to teach wrong. And Google, Facebook, many other ones, the way they got capital, in time of open innovation, they need to say it's open innovation. If they want to say it was closed innovation, it's fraud. They use my innovation. They would need to say it was open innovation. If it was open innovation, then teachers in colleges should tell the student it was open innovation. Don't teach it was Google's innovation. So they want to take money basically and fool the students, intentionally or unintentionally. I think it's wrong, especially for private expensive university. You need to teach all that take so much money and tell them some kind of nonsense. That's what they know. Many times that's what people know. They know some kind of nonsense, completely nonsense. What they talked about is completely nonsense. So if AOL 91 didn't come to the search engine, don't call it it's AOL, and don't call it internet. Because internet, first of all, if it was internet, it didn't have any kind of system. It was only wires. And second part, most likely it's not linking, because linking is only started like 89, and if they had, it was like more like AltaZone or some kind of look, which is no linking. Okay, just letters and the screen. You need to go through submit. You cannot have any linking. Now, if you look at my search engine, you click on name of any business, that's linking. Every business is having linking. That's when I put something as a list, my list has linking. Linking to where? To business, where business is located. It's not on user's end. I made them on my system end. And I had certain ways how I did it. The same with video and everything else. But when you teach them, it's all unclear. You see, it's what I see. People, even if they talk about like digital age and all that digital age, like honestly, from what I see, all the digital age is like a lot of it based on illegal. Either illegal papers or use or some other things. And like those, fake Nikes, the fake Nikes, Mexican market fake Nikes or fake Jordans. That's what they're pretty much doing now. A lot of the fake Nikes. They don't disclose, but it is. It's not their thinking. Not your thinking. Don't try to sell it. So now they say web services like that. Amazon Web Services, cloud. Cloud belong to web services. Web never came to cloud. It's not web's system. It's not storage. What do you teach? You teach web service. It's all nonsense. It's all like game. You teach, basically you tell them game or nonsense. Web never came to cloud. The storage never came to system, network, packages, software decision. Probably web doesn't even know about linking, because web was before linking. If linking started 89, web was before. So web never came. You cannot say cloud belong to web. Not really. To me, you cannot. He has nothing to do with it. So somebody decided to use web. Well, I don't know. I never did allow to use mine. If my wife did something, I do not allow her to use too. I never did. I was like AOL 91. Like, let's suppose AOL 91. They have their own system. Whatever they came to, it's their system, right? I was like that. I'm not some kind of guy like working for army or for some kind of government place and releasing for free use. I never did this and I will never have it. I don't really care about government free use, because ultimately they want to get money for mine. They made up for free use because they don't want to pay. It's abuse of power. They don't want to pay. They making up to use mine for free. No, you cannot use mine for free, because like AOL 91, whatever they were running, it was their business. That's how my things are too. That's my business, that's my system. Don't touch it. Pay or don't touch it. Go with your stuff. It's like Mercedes. They work, it's there. Exactly. Consider me as Mercedes, or consider me as Rolls Royce, or whatever. I had things designed for real estate, including commercial real estate. My prices on my system, my prices and costs is way beyond you might want to put. I had bank too. I had banks. I had $1 trillion businesses on my system, and you want to play You want to play with this, you want this for free, that's for free. You cannot use this. I do not allow. Basically, you cannot use my e-commerce. You want for free, you want to play, come to your e-commerce, have your people, put things together your way, substantially different, sell is yours. Don't sell mine is yours. I never did allow. And all those fake papers of my ex-wife, I don't really care. If I see more fake papers, I will tell to Justice Department. I don't want you to keep robbing me. You're gonna have big mentions on my expense. I really care less about your mentions. I need my money. Not you go with your stuff. Like this, I see again. This one, the car. Like this, for instance, Toyota Sienna. You don't steal all the technologies, all the ways, all the innovations, and make up Toyota Sienna. That's what they do, trying to do. Take all my stuff, put their name. Internet or Google or something. Believe me, like for teachers, I can tell that was open innovation. Because closed innovation all comes from within. They had open innovation. But they use that without paying. Open innovation, you need to pay for that part. They never did. That's why I call it illegal use. Basically, you need to tell Google is an illegal use. And I can recognize Facebook, and I can recognize even Twitter. I can recognize YouTube, Amazon, eBay. And based on what I've seen, that's the most visited sites. All my design thinking is the most visited sites, and all of them cannot have rights for this because they use mine. To have rights, you need to start from scratch. If you see mine, you need to be substantially different. Then you can have rights. Now they cannot sell any rights, believe me. If they can, it's only for their part, not for my part, for their part. When they did prototype, they have some things coming during prototype, they can sell that, they cannot sell mine. They're not supposed to even do prototype. If it's open innovation, I need to be present, or at least I should have some kind of papers. When you do prototype, I should have papers. What they had fake papers. They had fake papers, a type of prototype. That's pretty much, that's what you need to teach to universities. That's how it was. But what you do teach, it's Google's innovation. It's not Google's innovation. You can invite both of them. You can invite anyone from Google. I don't care, because I know what I came to. They started in '96 and I came to '92, and they had few years when they were talking or getting money or whatever. You see, I see Lexus right now. Lexus doesn't steal innovation like that. You know, take from everywhere, and this is Lexus. No, you need to work on it. That's Lexus many times have closed innovations because they already have the company, and they started like some kind of strange looking Toyota, then keep doing closed innovations. Sometimes they have maybe open innovation. Doesn't mean they just take it and use it. They need to pay for it. So sometimes to me it looks, I better just go with some kind of companies that have more professional way. Honestly, for me it's better, I just better talk to Sony, Panasonic, or some kind of, they have many Japanese companies. I better just talk to them than keep dealing with those people who just want to basically use everything for free. This is not a free world. Anything you buy costs money. I'm not gonna give mine for free, because I need to pay for things. So, and the Constitution of the United States is saying you have rights for compensation for your effort. So if it's open innovation, I had my effort and I have rights for compensation, I don't see more compensation. Basically Google or Facebook is unconstitutional companies. That's what it is. Because I don't see my money. You can ask him. They never start from scratch. I don't believe you can start from scratch and be the same. Because like I told you, to win 6 number you need 300 million tries. You cannot be I don't believe you can ever be the same, because it's just too much. Because all my things are designed for outside people. It's not made for inside use of Harvard University. So I started like that for outside, and I will keep going for outside use. So they cannot talk for me. They need to pay. And then the teachers, if they teach, they probably need to know legal side. But American law system for some reason allow them to do all this, and later they teach nonsense. Believe me, they teach a lot of nonsense, because teachers don't know the truth, because all those lawyers keep approving some kind of nonsense. They think the teachers are thinking that's all correct. In reality, it's not correct. You can ask MIT, okay, you had before people on networking. What is internet? You can ask him, because I've seen the book of MIT about interconnected network, and not only interconnected. It was like star network, whatever, all kind of different things. It's just a book on networking, because there are different configuration when it comes to networking. So they had a picture, or you can ask teachers. So this is internet, suppose, and nobody really was using, like I said, because most computers of 90s or end of 80s, they had one network card. They did not have 3 network cards. They didn't have one network card for 3 outputs. You're lucky if you have one output for network. Sometimes they did not even sell computers with networking cards. So and MIT teachers might show you what is real network configuration. Now when you implement all this mine and keep buying land and all that, that's not internet. And they never came to that. It was open innovation. Somebody was talking about my innovation, and then basically they stole my money. They stole my money. They had to pay. Open innovation means you need to share a reward. They didn't pay anything. They basically stole my innovation. Use it legally. That's all you can teach. So now you've got Harvard or MIT or Dukes or Yale or anyone, University of Southern California, are taking like 2-3 grand. They cannot really teach all that nonsense. It's like that would put them automatically into category of some kind of Georgia University. That's how it is. Because they teach some kind of nonsense and taking money. To me, it's kind of Georgia University. Scam artists. So some stories of one people are affecting other people, and at the end affecting universities. So universities are teaching some kind of nonsense, taking money. But there is demand. They probably can say, okay, we don't need to teach, but there is a demand. People want to know. So teachers are trying to find whatever they can find, but a lot of it is nonsense, believe me. So at the end, they need to teach nonsense. I think American judges, attorneys should go through all that, and American university or any European university should not teach any nonsense and take money. That's what I think. So my other video would be about something else. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so this is from my school, just a snipping tool kind of page. So there are innovations, either open or closed. So this one, basically internal and external ideas. And I was reading further, it says basically this one open, they need to share the reward. Okay, now if I look at Google, I was checking for Harvard on open innovation. They do have some things about open innovation. So Harvard Business School, open innovation. There are some things you can find. So for any teacher, if they want to know about Google or any of my software packages I was showing, those ones, those packages and the system and network, they were my innovation. So many companies, be it Silicon Valley or the Seattle or New York, any other place, they had an open innovation of my system, but they did not pay. I don't know what they had, some kind of papers or some people talking something. So all this, well, I had more than this, because this is like a part of it. So this particular redirect going to foreign one. Then if I have certain expanded version, I have this one. I use redirecting to that particular storage. I need to make a new one expanded, but I had expanded. So I did post some already, but then anyway, any of those packages are basically, it was my innovation, be it network or be it system, including short wireless or satellite for the gap or clear wire kind of wireless. I had a second wireless. So it was an open innovation because that was my intellectual property. They cannot say it's closed, because for them to be closed they need to be substantially different, but they are not. Like this list, you see this short one, a name, whatever name, that was my way. It's not AOL or Barnes & Noble or AutoZone way. And whatever I put here, it's my way. It's all linked to that, it's all linked to here. Be it media computers or my software packages, including one payment system with finance. So that one is one thing. But now second thing is like when you go to, like, say Google, I think Pay, Google Pay. So you see, not only Google Pay, but let's say Apple. But anyway, when you download apps, like I have on my phone apps, when you download any app, Google, let's say apps, App Store, this one. Oh, it's Google Play. Okay. So you see, when you have all these apps, I started with my browser. My browser originally had to be downloaded from the system. So this particular system, to me, should have something that allows to download. Okay, because you download from the system. All this is download from the system. It's not from the internet. If it's internet configuration, if it's real internet configuration of whatever 80s, 90s, this internet configuration, that's what I've seen in MIT books, like I said before. So if you download internet, if it would be internet, the user first of all should have interconnected few cables, because if one lost, he should be able to connect to other. But then internet is for the user. It goes to other user. It doesn't go to the system. It goes to the user. Now, if you make apps to download, you would need to download from every user going to the user. Now, in my case, I don't go any user. I download from the system. User doesn't have anything. So in my case, the computers of those companies can be turned off. So all these companies, their computers could be turned off. In fact, because of pandemic right now, many of them probably are not working. But because I don't have anything stored on user end, I am storing on my system side. They can download apps, you see. So Google cannot claim that's their way. I came to that's my innovation, and that's what people change life. They implemented mine, so it was open innovation. It's not only Google, but AOL, AltaVista, Yahoo, Bing. You know, that's what I had. Now, Bing, for some reason, I don't know why, but Bing, somebody is going to Bing too, because I see mine is implemented not only with Google, it's implemented with Bing. Probably Bing has those people repeating again my ex-wife with her papers. Now what else can I say? So basically this was my innovation from 92. Before 92 it was, like I said, mostly internal networks or everything on user end. In my case, I am building a system not on user end, but let's say Colorado, or let me see, I did not even check. Let me see maps. Maps, okay. Okay, suppose I have maps. So, okay, so maybe not Colorado, maybe even Kansas. So suppose, because at that time I was thinking Colorado in middle, but suppose Colorado, but you have Hawaii too, but okay, let's say Colorado slash Kansas. So Kansas, maybe even Nebraska. So this would be approximate. I said approximate. It should not be like dead center, but I don't need Kansas City, but maybe let's say, well, Colorado Springs. To me, approximately would be Kansas, actually. Okay, so Colorado, Kansas. So that would be, to me, middle of the country, Kansas. Now, because of the hurricanes, I don't know, maybe I want to move a little bit certain this way, other way, because of no hurricane. And then high winds, because if I want, like today, if I want solar system, I don't want to be on high wind tunnel, kind of. I want to make sure it's okay for solar system. So at that time I said Colorado, but to me it was middle, but actually it's not really middle, but I suppose I said in the middle, but whatever. So whatever people like. Now, because this is mountain area, even if it looks middle, but if you measure the cables, the length of cables going through the mountains, you might end up middle is not in Kansas, actually maybe Colorado Springs. Because this one, I was driving through this area, those mountains are very big, and if you run somewhere, depends on where you're running, it might be like overall length is actually middle would be not in Kansas, you might end up here somewhere. So anyway, let me see. Let me see. Let's say Stanford on open innovation. So Stanford on open innovation. So you see, Stanford does talk about networking minds for open innovation. Okay, I can tell this networking minds, if you think those people who came to Silicon Valley, they use mine. I'm not reading this, but just in general, you can check with them and with my ex-wife and whatever she wrote there. And so Stanford, not only Stanford, many you can find about open innovation from many places. There is a certificate, even open innovation certificate. So I guess this subject is bigger, but for teachers I can tell that one, because they didn't come to that, they used my way. Because of that, it's open innovation. It's not closed innovation of Google and it's not open innovation of Yahoo or whoever was implementing. That's all I can say. My other videos I would talk about something else.